So, even though it's daylight out and I'm walking down a trail, technically it's Thursday, but this is the recap for Wednesday the 4th. I didn't get a chance to do it last night between all the people and the latest things ran. The mechanical man is pretty good. That's how I wrapped up. I stayed there last night. He came and picked me up at Smith's GapRd, and since everything was closed up and wasn't able to get to a local restaurant, he normally only shuttles into Kettleville, something like that, which is just a small little town. But because it is so small, it's kind of like Port Collins or Clinton. It closes up for the 4th, and so anyway, no place for me to grab dinner or nothing, so he took me to a relative's place that was having a party. And they're real nice people, fed me well. It did take a lot of time though, and that resulted in not getting a whole lot done. I had access to Wi-Fi, but his Wi-Fi was pretty slow, and I mean really slow. It took over 2 hours just to upload like a 9-minute video. So by 10 o'clock I didn't bother with any more. But there were 3 other people there who stayed with us in the garage, or with me in the garage. An older couple, closer to my age, and they're kind of jumping around doing weird sections at a time, trying to finish up a through hike, but they won't get it done because they've already done, it's taken them longer than a year, but they'll have the complete hike done. And there was a young girl that came in later in the evening, and she's another one that's trying to get a couple sections done that she didn't do a couple years ago. And she's actually headed north too, but she's starting further south than I am. So anyway, yeah, that mechanical man's got some rules you got to follow. You basically stay in the garage, which is the basement of the house, and the only way in and out of it is through the big doors, and he's kind of touchy on opening those because he runs a fan and a humidifier or dehumidifier, or whatever they are, to keep the moisture down, the humidity down, and keeps it cool in there. But then he's got a couple of dogs that seem to be with him all the time, but they're friendly. I highly recommend going there. The other things got done yesterday. I did a short day. It was only like 13 miles, and I did that because of the weather that came in, and I was glad. The rain hit about 4 o'clock. It actually started about an hour before it was supposed to, and it came down just in torrents, and continued for quite a while. I was glad I was in his car on my way to dinner at that time, and not still on the trail, because I would have been, and that would have been permissible. So I made a good choice there. Only cost me $10 to stay the night. Got a shower, got to rinse my clothes out. Some of them are still wet. His clothes drying system basically hang them outside. Even though it'll rain, it'll stay dry, but they just got wet. And so anyway, packing wet clothes. Ones I needed to wear were dry enough. Got over a lot of the worst of the rocks yesterday. So even though it's a rocky trail right now, I'm still going to be able to make good time. And like I say, 24 miles on the 5th will put me in Delaware Water Gap and basically done with Pennsylvania. The state line is like, I don't know, 1 or 2 miles at most. I can't remember exactly what the specs were. And I can get a good resupply there too, or basic one. So let's see, what else? Oh yeah, ran into some good trail magic yesterday. It wasn't anything super big or fantastic, but since I was running low on water and hadn't planned on getting off the trail early, I was hurting for being able to get water to get all the way through. And somebody had set out an ice chest with Coke and stuff in it and some cookies. So I had a couple of Cokes, and that made things much nicer as far as hydrating and that, feeling better. And of course, the way things go, I only had about 2.5 miles to go from there to get to Smith Gap Road, where I got off anyway. But at least I got to feeling better. I was really hurting there for a while. The energy was totally draining out of me because of the heat, humidity, the boulder climbing, the boulder hopping, and the all-around garbage trail sections with rocks. So, got everything done though. It's all still running according to plan to an extent. Alright, so that's it for the 4th of July. Oh, one last thing. Got a fireworks show too last night by the host. Or last night. That night, Friday, yeah. There's 4th of July night. They just legalized the bigger and more exciting fireworks for the average citizen in Pennsylvania. So he went out and blew a couple $100 on fireworks and invited us out to watch the show. So that was kind of nice too. Alright, with that, we'll go on to bed and catch it in the morning.